When have you seen a rich family get humbled? I was 19 when I took a babysitting job just to earn enough money for one textbook, and found myself caring for little Satan himself, who hospitalized me. His family owned one of those mega McMansions where the driveway had its own roundabout, and the glasses were made of real glass. Mrs. Tinky said her son Blake was 8 and spirited, which should have been my first red flag. She handed me a credit card for emergencies, and left for their charity gala in a dress that probably cost more than my tuition. Blake was sitting on the couch playing on his iPad when I introduced myself. He looked up for exactly 1 second before going back to his game. I asked what he wanted for dinner, and he said McDonald's without looking away from the screen. Not a problem since they'd left the credit card. I pulled up DoorDash on my phone and asked what he wanted. He rattled off an order that included 2 Big Macs, a 20-piece nugget, and a large fry plus a milkshake. I placed the order figuring he wouldn't eat it all anyway. While we waited, he didn't say a single word to me, just sat there playing some loud farting game. The food arrived 40 minutes later, and I brought it to the living room. The second he opened the bag, his face turned red and he started screaming that the fries were cold. Not just complaining, but actually screaming like someone just told him Kaisa not died. I tried to calm him down and offered to heat them up in the microwave. He threw the entire bag of food at the wall and nuggets went flying everywhere. The milkshake exploded on impact and started dripping down their expensive wallpaper. I stood there shocked while this 8-year-old had a complete meltdown over lukewarm fries. He kept screaming that I was the worst babysitter ever, and he wanted his real nanny back. Things escalated when he grabbed his toy baseball bat from the corner. At first I thought he was just going to hit the couch or something, but then he came at me. He started whacking my shins with this metal bat while screaming about his cold fries. It actually hurt, and I had to grab a couch cushion to block him. This kid was literally attacking me over McDonald's. I managed to grab the bat away from him and told him he was going in timeout. He laughed in my face and said timeout was for babies. When I reached for his iPad, he went absolutely feral. He bit my hand hard enough to leave marks and tried to kick me in the stomach. I finally got the iPad away and put it on top of the refrigerator where he couldn't reach it. He followed me to the kitchen, still screaming and throwing things. I told him he could have the iPad back when he calmed down and apologized. His face went from red to purple and he said, "You don't know who my dad is. He'll fire you and sue you and you'll be poor forever." This 8-year-old was threatening me with lawsuits like a tiny corporate villain. I turned my back for 1 second to clean up some of the milkshake mess. When I turned around, Blake was standing there holding a kitchen knife. Not a butter knife, but an actual sharp knife from the knife block. He held it up and said in the calmest voice, "Give me my iPad or say night-night." My heart stopped because this kid looked serious, and I was genuinely scared he might actually do something. I tried to stay calm and spoke softly, asking him to put the knife down. He took a step closer and waved it around, saying he knew how to use it because he played Among Us. I kept backing up, trying to figure out how to get the knife away from an 8-year-old without anyone getting hurt. He was between me and the door, so I couldn't just run out and call for help. Finally, I pretended to agree and said I'd get his iPad if he put the knife on the counter first. He thought about it, then set it down, but kept his hand near it. The second he looked away, I lunged forward and grabbed the knife. In the struggle, I twisted my ankle badly and fell to the floor. Blake started laughing hysterically, pointing at me while I lay there in pain, unable to walk. I managed to crawl to my phone and called his parents. Mrs. Tinky answered, sounding annoyed until I told her about the knife. They said they'd be home in 20 minutes. I dragged myself to the couch, keeping the knife with me, while Blake sat on the stairs, still laughing about my ankle. When his parents walked in, I was holding ice on my foot, while their son played with toys like nothing happened. Mr. Tinky listened to the whole story, then walked over to Blake. Without saying a word, he picked up the baseball bat, walked to where I'd put the iPad, and smashed it to pieces. Blake's laughter turned to shocked silence, then hysterical crying. His dad said, "You threatened someone with a knife over a game. You don't deserve anything. They paid for my emergency room visit, and when they found out I was pre-med, they offered to pay my entire semester's tuition if I didn't sue them or tell anyone what happened." I agreed. But guess what? The agreement was verbal. So I took the money and still told everyone and their mama. Plus I sued them. Now they're hella mad, assembling a team of lawyers to try fight me. Full story where the rich family continues thinking they're all that is on my channel and linked below.